Okay, let's talk about this Venom 3 stuff, baby. Ooh, okay, Venom 3. It's kind of refreshing. I spelled it wrong. It's kind of refreshing when we have a comic book movie coming out and we have literally no idea what the comic book movie is going to be about. And so that's what I've been wondering with Venom 3. We've had a lot of things going around with the movie, like some like semi reports going online. I hate it though. I hope this is not the real plot of Venom. But again, just to remind you guys, the current rumor was that Venom 3 is going to be about Eddie when he goes back to the Sony universe after being taken away from the MCU. He's going to look for his universe's Peter Parker, his Spider-Man, right? He wants to meet him and talk to him because the symbiote's going to tell him one day Spider-Man's going to kill you. He's going to be your enemy, so you should stop him now before that ever happens. But when he goes, it's a 10-year-old Peter Parker, and he can't do it because it's just a kid who doesn't even have powers. And instead, he's going to mentor 10-year-old Peter. And I'm like, stop it. Cancel that. Throw it away. Put it in the same pile you did with frickin' I still don't want to believe that's the real plot. I'm thinking they have something else cooked up, but we have no idea what. We have no idea who the villain is, what the plot is. Like, anything. And that's kind of refreshing because a lot of the times we know almost every little detail about these movies coming out. So it's kind of juicy when we get something hinting at what might be happening in the movie. And that's what we got here. So this right here is merchandise given to crew members who worked on Venom 3. This is the stunt team. And looking at it, I love this logo for the movie. I like that the E is the 3, very 90s, very awesome. I even like that the O in Venom is just Venom's face. Oh, such a cool logo. I hope that ends up being the official logo because that's just something neat. Then we look at the hat, and it's Venom's face with 3 scars on him and the color green. The green is looking very prominent here. And, well, a lot of the times with this stuff, it hints to what is going to be going down in the movie. So let me look at like the Spider-Man No Way Home crew shirts, because this was something I remember we talked about and we're speculating. Whenever we got the Spider-Man No Way Home crew shirts, you could see this, they were hinting. And remember, we didn't know if Toby or Andrew were going to be in the movie. These were just us speculating. And yeah, look, they on the crew shirts for Spider-Man No Way Home, they put Andrew Garfield on it. And then they were like, oh, we just like that version. That's why we put it on there. No other reason, guys. Andrew Garfield was in the movie along with Tobey Maguire, okay? So don't try to be funny with us. We know. So a lot of the times these crew shirts are actually hints to what is happening in the movie. So all we have to go off now is the color green and some slashes. So that could have been anything, right? It could have been Vulture for all we know, because the Vulture, as crazy and as dumb as it is, the Vulture is now in the Sony universe. He was sucked out of the MCU. He met up with Morbius, and Morbius was like, intriguing. It has something to do with Spider-Man. Oh, dude, that post-credit scene pisses me off, and I'm glad Madam Web didn't have a post-credit scene because it would have pissed me off too. Like maybe it could be Vulture. You know, I doubt it, but he's green, so or his colors are green, so that could be one. Then you also got Morbius, and a lot of Morbius's marketing and colors were green. Maybe it's Morbius going after Venom. Wouldn't love it. I'd hate it. Okay, but then we had people bringing up a character by the name of Lasher, which is a symbiote whose colors are primarily green. And dude, already I saw people suggesting that because like let's look, let's just go to my freaking page here so we can see. I saw people suggesting that when I brought it up, and my eyes were rolling, dude. My eyes were rolling. You have all these bots trying to sell shirts too. Freaking the monster energy can is gonna be the villain of the movie. That's gonna be funny. But we had people hinting, dude. Where is all this? You're making me look like a liar. There was people hinting at. There we go. Some Lasher in there, right? There are people, and I was just like, dude, another freaking symbiote? Why are you doing this, Sony? That's 3 symbiote villains in a row. Stop it. Do something else. That's so boring. I like, even people were also bringing up Toxin, which I know is set to maybe show up. And the only thing green about Toxin is his tongue. Overall, Toxin is red and black. And if you don't know, Toxin is the cop in Venom Let There Be Carnage who was teased to get the symbiote at the end of that movie. I don't want another symbiote villain. I hate this idea. So I was like, oh, all right, well, let me look into some of this backstory involved with Lasher. Maybe there's something interesting there. Turns out there actually is. one of the hosts, the first host of Lasher in the comics, was actually a dog. Lasher's first host, the green symbiote, is a war dog, is a female German shepherd, and sometimes it looks like this, all creepy and nasty. And I was like, a dog's host as a symbiote. Dog. Why does that sound kind of familiar to me? And then I went to look up Venom 3 set photos that Tom Hardy had teased. Play the creepy music, guys. Tom Hardy posted a picture on his first day on the set of Venom 3 with him facing off against a German shepherd. Oh my God. It's all coming together. I see it all happening in my head. Now, this could obviously be reaching, and it could all be a total coincidence, but Tom Hardy has done this a lot. He loves to tease you on Instagram. Let's see, Venom 3 Tom Hardy Instagram. He's done this so many times. Leading up to Venom Let There Be Carnage, he was posting things like his Venom biting Spider-Man, right? Let's see, Venom 3 Spider-Man. Let's put it up there. He was posting things like, oh, let's see, where is it? There's somewhere on here, guys. Yeah, no, don't think I'm crazy. I've seen it before. Tom Hardy, what the hell, man? Venom 3, let's see, Tom Hardy. Okay. Oh, yeah. See, this photo. This was on Tom Hardy's Instagram. He had it up there for like 5 minutes. Then he deleted it. He also did this photo with Tom Hardy and Spider-Man. It kind of overhyped us, and we got our expectations a little blown out because he did eventually get to meet or come close to Spider-Man, licking him on the TV in the MCU, but he never got to fight him. And then people also noticed whenever he did post talking about Venom, he revealed the title a long time ago. He said like One Last Dance or something like that in his post, and everybody's like, oh, it's just his last time. And turns out, no, that was the name of the movie, is Venom 3 Last Dance. So I was like, oh, so he revealed the title months ago. So I don't think it's a stretch to think that this post of Tom Hardy going after this German Shepherd, which again is what Slasher originally was in the, or Lasher, not Slasher, Slasher symbiote, is one of the hosts in the comics. That maybe that could be what's actually happening here. And you know what? Although I hate the idea of a symbiote being the villain again in a Venom movie, this does make it a little different. So far, all the hosts have been evil, maniacal people, right? Whether it's the CEO or scientist of the first movie, and then you had Cletus Cassidy Carnage, which I was happy with. What's it like when a dog gets that power? And also, the movie starts in Mexico. We've seen set photos because it's going to take place right as soon as Tom Hardy comes back from being sucked out of the MCU. And he's like, oh, I'm in Mexico. And he's just walking around the streets of Mexico. There are a lot of stray dogs in Mexico. Hungry dogs, too. What happens when a stray, hungry, cruel dog gets the symbiote? It's just a maniacal monster. It has no thought. It just wants to eat, slash, and attack. I'm like, that could be something different and interesting, right? And that could also be how Toxin comes into it. Because I know a lot of people were like, no, Toxin's going to be the villain, Chris. Toxin is going to be the one. They didn't really set up a reason for why the cop would want to go after Tom in like an evil way. They were kind of friendly and okay with each other. It would seem so out of nowhere for him. He's like, I'm the villain. And since we're following the movie from Venom perspective, it's like the cop isn't really that bad. So maybe it would be a situation where he'd have to get the cop's help. And he's like, oh, well, I got this symbiote also. I can help you fight this guy. I don't know. But other than that, it could be more than that, because it could also be things with the Life Foundation. That could be something that happens in here. They could introduce the Life Foundation, and for this is where they have a bunch of symbiotes: Scream, Agony, Lasher, all of them going after Venom. Right? The company creates them, and they're like, "Well, we want more more of the symbiote, and we need to take it off Tom Hardy's character because he's got it on it." That could be it. It could be, a whole bunch of symbiotes going after him. All in all, it's just not as exciting as the idea of Venom fighting Spider-Man. You literally teased us with that, and we're just not going to get it. Like, that's so crazy. So, this is honestly what could end up happening with the movie, I don't mind the idea then if they bring it out. The Life Foundation angle could be interesting, especially if like Lasher is a dog and the rest of them is that like it could even happen in a different way. It could literally be a military group, which it usually is, where they're going after him and then they get hit with the symbiote halfway into the movie, including their like sniffing dog, their military dog that works with them, right? That could be cool. They get that and get corrupted with power. I wouldn't mind it. I don't know, man. These Venom movies were fine. It was an interesting experiment, but I'm just not that crazy about them. I wish I liked them as much as other people. I'm still curious how the Vegas thing plays into it because we saw set photos of like Venom at Vegas. It looks like that's the end of the movie. So he eventually crosses the border from Mexico into Vegas. Final battle in Vegas could be kind of cool, but nothing about Chris a big hater. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm happy though. They need to bring Noel. I think it's too late, especially since this is also Tom Hardy's his last Venom movie. That they're wrapping it up here. They're moving on. Tom Hardy wants to do other things. He doesn't want to be Venom for like 8, 9 movies and whatnot. He's like, I got my 3 movies. We're finishing it out here. So way too late to bring in Noel. If they do Noel or all this multiverse stuff, way too late. You should have teased this earlier. Anti Venom, I just don't think either. They've set that up well. And again, it's another symbiote. Symbiote versus symbiote. Give us something new, baby. I don't know. That's just my thought process there. So there's that update with Venom 3. Let's move on now to talk about some updates with Spider-Man 4, baby.